What's up, guys? We're the Backyard Bros, and today we're going to be breaking down the NFL free agency, breaking down some of the highlights for you. So let's get into it. Okay, so for the first move we're going to talk about, this move actually happened it was a little while before the
new league year.
Yeah, the new league year actually started. And this move was Deebo Samuel, a wide receiver from the 49ers, going to the Washington Commanders.
Mm-hmm.
And now we know Deebo is a very dynamic player.
Yeah.
He can get involved in the pass game.
Mm-hmm.
He can also get involved in the run game, taking the jet sweeps. And so what is a dynamic wide receiver like Deebo? What is the Washington offense going to look like? Adding him with some other stars like Jaden Daniels, Zach Ertz, Scary Terry, opposite of him.
Well, the thing is with the Washington Commanders is that they have a type of offense in the NFL where they kind of play at a college-style kind of offense. And when you bring in a guy like Deebo, he's not just an ordinary wide receiver or just a superstar wide receiver. He could play off like the jet sweeps. He's almost like a wide receiver and a running back, which goes great for Deebo. And I think it's the perfect spot for him, and he's going to bounce back in his career after a tough season he had with San Francisco last year. And when I say tough season, as we mentioned in this picture right there, where he's
built like a running back.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that. A little more bigger than a running back, as you can see, but
putting on the pounds.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on over there exactly, or if he's trying to be a mentor to Jaden Daniels to sort of bulk up next season.
Because Jaden Daniels is a very skinny guy.
Yeah. So I'm not sure what's going on.
Yeah, what do you think he's eating?
I have no idea, bro. I mean,
what's this dude eating to put on?
I don't even know. McDonald's, Burger King, or any other fast food place that I could possibly think of. But it makes you and me look like that we're on a perfectly fine diet, though. So hopefully that's not going to be too much of a problem for the Commanders next season.
We could be pro athletes, I guess.
I guess, yeah. I mean, GM for the Commanders, sign us for crying out loud.
Maybe that might help him as a running back, though. Put Deebo at the goal line. He's got the pounds put on, just truck.
Yeah, just truck in, and he'll power right in that goal line.
Just truck with his stomach.
Yeah, just truck with his stomach. That's it. Bring out the boom. That's what we do. So, as we talk about wide receivers, the next wide receiver move that happened was Davante Adams signing with the Los Angeles Rams, getting paired up with Puka Nacua and the replacement for
Cooper
Kupp.
Yeah.
So Davante to the Rams. What's your take on that exactly?
Yeah, I think Davante still got some left in the tank. Obviously, he's an older player, but he's still got great hands. Still runs great routes.
Yeah.
Obviously, I feel like he's kind of lost some of his patience at this age.
Yeah, a little bit, though.
I could see him kind of being a baby about Puka getting more targets.
Yeah.
Because Puka gets a ton of targets.
Well, yeah, Puka's the wide receiver 1, and the wide receiver 2, Davante, is kind of that guy that's open, which he gets open a lot, though.
Do you think it changes anything? What's Kupp versus Davante?
I think
him up with Puka.
I think it's just Davante being in the same shoes as Cooper Kupp was, where the guy wasn't targeted enough, and then people keep hating on the wide receiver 2 role because they're like, that guy is washed when he's not getting a lot of targets. So I think it's just Davante is in the same shoes as Cooper Kupp was the past couple seasons, while Puka has been there.
Similar production?
Yeah, I think so. Similar production.
Fantasy football, similar production from Davante as to Kupp. You heard it right here.
Yes, absolutely. You heard it. For all those fantasy football managers out there. So, as we mentioned, Cooper Kupp, as we talked about, former Super Bowl 56 MVP, one of the Rams' greats for wide receiver, released by the Rams. He signed a deal with the Seattle Seahawks, staying in the NFC West division, the same division for the Rams.
How long was that deal?
Huh?
How long was that deal?
I believe it was 2 or 3 year, 3-year contract, I believe it was. So he signs with the Seattle Seahawks with a new offense that they have. We'll get to that later. So, what's your take exactly? Bring us into Cooper Kupp exactly to the Seahawks.
Yeah, I think it's a good move. Seahawks obviously picked up Sam Darnold too, which we'll touch on. He's a pocket passer quarterback. I wouldn't say he's a runner, really. But so you get Cooper Kupp, you get JSN on the other side.
Right.
JSN, obviously more of a deep threat, touches the deep balls. Cooper Kupp, obviously more of the, gets the shorter receptions. He's got good hands, great routes, very smart player. Cooper Kupp is one of my favorite receivers in the league. I'll say that there. But when you see a guy like Kupp gets those short catches, clutch on third down, you pair him with a deep threat guy.
Yeah.
I mean, you get a good offense. You see Amon-Ra St. Brown with the Lions gets the short receptions. Pair him up with the deep guy in Geno. That duo in a wide receiver, I think, clicks well.
I think so.
Kenneth Walker, too, back there.
Yes, Kenneth Walker as well.
He can catch the ball, too.
So we dive into Sam Darnold and the new faces for the Seattle Seahawks offense. Let's take a look at the Seahawks offense, compare it to how it was last season to now. So as you could see, last year's Seattle Seahawks offense, they had Geno Smith at quarterback, superstar wide receiver DK Metcalf, we'll mention him later, and longtime veteran for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. And the new faces they have is Sam Darnold leading at quarterback, Jackson Smith-Njigba. I mean, that doesn't change from last year's offense. Cooper Kupp, as we mentioned, and Marquez Valdes-Scantling. So we'll jump into Sam Darnold. He was one of the biggest free agents in the market this year. He signs a deal with the Seattle Seahawks, which I believe was a 3-year contract.
A lot of 3 years.
Huh?
A lot of 3-year deals.
Yeah, a lot of 3-year deals we're mentioning here. But Sam Darnold is now the face of the Seahawks franchise. So how do you think Sam Darnold will be? Do you feel like he'll be the same kind of player that he was last year in his great run in Minnesota?
Yeah, I think you're going to see similar production from him.
Yeah.
Last year he's paired with weapons.
Mm-hmm.
JJ, Hawkinson, Jordan Addison.
Yeah.
This year he's with weapons, similar caliber weapons.
Yeah.
JSN, Cooper Kupp, Kenneth Walker.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you can check the ball down to him.
Yeah.
I think you're going to see similar production.
I think as long as you give Sam Darnold the right kind of weapons, you're going to get the same version of Sam Darnold that you expect from last year, though. And another move from the Seattle Seahawks, as we said earlier, we would mention, is DK Metcalf, veteran wide receiver. He gets traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers in exchange for a second-round pick. So not only is he going to get traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers, but he is getting paired up with a wide receiver, George Pickens, where many of you are familiar with.
You're familiar. You had him on your fantasy team.
Yes, and I will just say for the record, no disrespect to George Pickens, but I will not take him in fantasy just because the amount of fights that he has started, one after another, every game.
And you see DK,
he's
very aggressive too. They're both very hostile, aggressive players.
Yes.
So what's going to happen when you put them together? Are they going to fight each other if they don't get catches?
I don't know. This is going to be like WrestleMania in the middle of the field, just over targets or touchdowns. I'm not sure, because when I first heard about this, I mean, this is the first thing that drew in the back of my mind. Let's take a look at this.
Very aggressive players. Very aggressive.
Yeah, very aggressive players. It's
going to be a brawling duo.
Yes.
Brawling duo.
Yes. So we had another free agent that was that we were thinking about exactly. It was a quarterback, right, that we were about to jump into?
Yeah. Another one leaving from the Seahawks. That is Geno Smith.
Yes, Geno Smith. That's right.
Yeah. So he leaves the Seahawks. We just talked about DK leaving the Seahawks. And so Geno goes over to the Las Vegas Raiders now. He's paired up with Pete Carroll, which he played with, was his coach in Seattle.
Yes, in Seattle.
And, Geno, he's a mobile quarterback. He's got weapons now with Brock Bowers.
Yes.
How do you think he fits in with his Raiders offense? Does he upgrade the offense?
I think he upgrades the offense because the biggest reason is because he's getting paired up with a familiar coach at Pete Carroll. The two of them had a great run in Seattle, and I think for a quarterback, when you have a coach that is familiar with him and that trusts you, then I feel like you'll be put in a good situation in your career. But I think this is a great start for the Raiders going forward, though.
What if they brought in Tyler Lockett, and then you got Pete Carroll, Tyler Lockett, Geno Smith? It could be like the Seattle Raiders.
Or Seattle Raiders or Las Vegas Seahawks, one or the two.
They honestly could bring in Lockett.
They honestly could. I mean, he's still out there, though, and they're still open for a wide receiver at the depth spot. I mean, I would like to see it happen, to be honest.
Yeah, who they got right now? Jacoby Myers?
They got Jacoby Myers and I can't think of the other one. Jacoby Myers and Brock Bowers are the only two weapons. Tyler Lockett, I feel like he just fits over there.
Yeah.
So as we dived into Geno Smith to the Raiders, another quarterback that we were mentioning was Justin Fields, was it?
Yeah.
Justin Fields of the Jets?
Yeah, so we've been talking a lot about Steelers, Seahawks, like those type of teams. And so, talking about one of those teams again, the Steelers. Justin Fields was with the Steelers last year.
Yeah.
We know he's a very, very mobile quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Throughout on the run, throughout with his legs. We saw that as Lions fans when he was with the Bears. He torched us.
Yes, tough times.
So anyway, he was backing up Russell Wilson in Pittsburgh. He started the season, then Russ took over. But now Justin Fields is leaving Pittsburgh, going to the New York Jets. And he's getting paired up with Garrett Wilson,
yes,
which is a receiver he previously played with, I believe, right?
In Ohio State, yes.
Yeah, and so does Justin Fields fit in this offense well?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like I said from the very beginning when the free agency opened, was that if there was a best scenario for the New York Jets, it would be to bring in Justin Fields because they released Aaron Rodgers. You bring in a mobile quarterback in Justin Fields where he's reunited with former college teammate Garrett Wilson, and the both of them had a great connection with each other. It's just a great scenario for the Jets, for Justin Fields, for Garrett Wilson. It's just an absolute home run for the New York Jets. And shout out to former defensive coordinator for the Lions and new head coach Aaron Glenn. Great signing. We wish you nothing but the best of luck, and we thank you for everything that you have done for the Lions organization. Good luck to you with your new team, the New York Jets.
Yeah. So we're talking about players moving all around. Obviously, we have to talk about our Detroit Lions.
Yes, our Detroit Lions.
And obviously, we know at the cornerback position on defense, it's been a little rocky for the past few years. We haven't found like that one lockdown corner.
No.
We've been just rotating around.
It's been different.
But that's going to change
this
year.
Absolutely.
So last year, we saw Carlton Davis, and he got the job done. You know, we appreciate what he did.
Yeah.
He was good. Obviously, maybe some injuries here and there. But he is now leaving to go to the New England Patriots for a lot of money, right?
Yeah, a lot of money.
How big was the contract?
3-year, $60 million contract.
Another 3 year, of course.
I know, these 3 years just keep coming.
Yeah, so he's leaving. He's leaving a contender in the Lions just to go to the Patriots, which I wouldn't call a contender right now. Just to go there for more money. And that kind of annoys me when you see players that they leave a contender just to get more money.
Money! Hey!
Just money.
It's kind of comes across as greedy. I lose a little bit of respect for them. But all things do happen for a reason. So Carlton Davis leaves. The Detroit Lions, the big splash of free agency for us. We bring in cornerback DJ Reed.
Mr. DJ
Reed from the Jets.
Yes.
He's a lockdown corner, a veteran guy. He's got a great attitude. What does he bring to this Lions secondary?
He brings everything that you could possibly need because when DJ Reed was with the New York Jets, at first he was getting paired up with a young talented corner named Sauce Gardner, where he's one of the best corners in the league, and he had a great mentor to look up to, DJ Reed. And that's kind of the same situation for us because Terrion Arnold, our young cornerback, is coming out of his rookie season. And you got a guy, DJ Reed, to look up to. Yeah, he's a mentor, basically. And not just Terrion Arnold, Enos Rakestraw, and all the other cornerbacks that we've signed. I mean, we've signed a lot of cornerbacks to fill in that depth spot.
And you get DJ Reed for 3 years, too.
Yeah.
You know, this is our lockdown guy.
Yeah.
I think the cornerback riddle is finally going to be solved for the Lions. He's that Super Bowl piece at the cornerback position.
Yes, Super Bowl piece.
So, like you said, we got a lot of cornerbacks. But a concern for a lot of Lions fans, including us a little bit, is the edge rusher position.
Yeah.
Obviously, Aiden Hutchinson is a star.
Yeah.
He's back healthy. But on the other side is the issue because we released Zadarius Smith in this offseason. We thought he was going to have a great season with Hutch. We were going to keep him because we saw him feed off of Myles Garrett in Cleveland. We thought, that type of situation. Right. And Zadarius Smith gets released. We re-signed Marcus Davenport, which to me, I don't think of him as a starter, just because he's in and out. He's in and out so much with injuries.
Unfortunately.
So that's a lot of people's concern. They're like, we need another starter. So do you think that means that maybe we draft an edge with the first pick?
I honestly think so. I mean, we have a very late first rounder this year, but I mean, we fill in a lot of the depth at the cornerback spot, the linebacker spot, and we did a little bit of the edge also. But I feel like, while we extend Aiden Hutchinson, save the cap space for him and potentially Kirby Joseph as well, and you draft an edge rusher, and there's a lot of great edge rushers in the draft, but I feel like drafting an edge rusher who's at least average is like the cherry on top for our Super Bowl run.
Yes, I believe so as well. We'll see what happens in the draft.
Yes, absolutely.
But regardless of what happens, I think Super Bowl too.
I think so. I mean, as for all Lion fans out there, the road to Super Bowl City in San Francisco goes through the Motor City.
You're gonna raise this up like the Lombardi.
Yes, raise it up like the Lombardi Trophy.
Yes.
2026 Super Bowl 60, San Fran.
Absolutely.
Coming up.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yes,
So
sir.
I think that about Carver's our very first video.
I think so.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We're gonna have some more videos coming your guys' way soon. Doing some activities, maybe outdoors.
Yeah.
As the spring rolls around, the summer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who knows? We might have some guests on here.
Yeah,
Get some guests.
yeah. More videos coming soon. This is only the beginning.
Yes, lots of great stuff coming your way. But thank you guys for tuning in.
Backyard Bros.
Out.
Out.